All right, welcome to today's webinar, how to significantly reduce or eliminate your tax debt without paying thousands of dollars to a tax resolution firm, CPA, or tax attorney, even if you are deathly afraid of the IRS. So my goal for you today is to have everything you need to eliminate or significantly reduce your tax debt. This training is the real deal, guys. What I'm going to show you today are the exact strategies that thousands of individuals and businesses have used to significantly reduce or eliminate their tax debt. So here's what we're going to cover. The secret big tax resolution firms, CPAs, and tax attorneys don't want you to know. How to legally and legitimately settle with the IRS for upwards to 99% of your tax debt owed, and the simple 5-step process to make dealing with the IRS simple and pain-free. And if you stick with me to the end of the webinar, I'll show you how you can get any tax returns currently unfiled filed for free. So who this webinar is for, I want you guys to make sure that you are in the right area. So this webinar is for taxpayers who owe the Internal Revenue Service any amount and you're looking for relief. This is also for taxpayers who have no ability or assets to pay their tax debts, okay? But I need a commitment from you. I need a commitment that you will implement the strategies that I'm going to share with you today, because nothing pains me more than giving you a solution yet running to you years later and you're still clinging hopelessly to your problem. So I want you to shake your head up and down right now. Say it out loud with me. Yes, that you will implement the strategies that I'm going to give you today. Okay. Now, I'm guessing for a lot of you, you've probably tried to get your tax debt situation under control, but you failed. And I want to be the first to tell you it's not your fault. There's a lot of information out there and it can be extremely confusing. And if you've ever been concerned in the past that you just couldn't really break free from your mounting tax debt liability, I'm going to put those fears to rest. You just need the right person to explain it to you. In our small amount of time together, my intention is to make a big impact in the following ways. I want you leaving here having confidence where there was once uncertainty, clarity where there was once confusion, and to free you from any burden, turmoil, and stress that you may be experiencing around your tax debt. And if you ever thought the tax resolution firms were full of crap, well, you're right. So that's what we're here for. I know you want to put your tax burdens behind you, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So rules for today's webinar. This webinar does not constitute legal advice or make any guarantees. However, I will give you the information you need to start the process in getting your tax debt under control. And it has to be said that any person who buys into any how-to program, they never get results because they simply don't implement. But you've already made me a commitment to me that you are going to implement the strategies that I'm going to share with you today. Now, there are over 8.9 million Americans who owe the Internal Revenue Service. That amounts to over $83 billion in back taxes, penalties, and interest owed. That's approximately $10,000 per person. So why do people owe back taxes anyway? Well, there are many reasons why people fall behind on their tax liability, and some include a death in the family, illness, cancer, divorce, loss of job. Claiming excessive exemptions on Form W-4 is a major culprit. And for self-employed businesses, failing to make estimated tax payments throughout the year. So let's take a further look at Form W-4, Employees Withholding Allowance Certificate. Now, people who end up owing the IRS often claim more exemptions than what they have. For instance, if you are a married mother of 2, your exemption should be around 4. 1 for you, 1 for your husband, and 1 for each of your children. However, if you put 9 in box 5, you will not withhold enough taxes from your paycheck and will have to owe taxes at the end of the year. Now, let's take a further look at self-employed persons. This is Form 1040-ES. Self-employed persons are supposed to estimate how much profit they will make by the end of the year. And in doing so, they calculate the estimated amount of taxes that will be due, and they pay it monthly or quarterly. It's kind of like you are self-paying your federal, state, and local taxes. Now, if you don't make estimated payments, once you file your taxes at the end of the year, you are going to be hit with a big tax bill, and it's going to be too big for you to pay all at once. Thus, you're going to be incurring penalties and interest and owing the IRS. Okay? But luckily for you, the IRS is willing to work with individuals and businesses to significantly reduce or eliminate their tax debt. So a quick story. My name is Krista Tyus, and I'm an enrolled agent by the Internal Revenue Service. I have extensive tax law knowledge and the authority to help any taxpayer before the Internal Revenue Service all over the United States. And I've successfully helped over 1,000 taxpayers just like you since 2012. So here are some success stories. This is Wendy. Wendy owed $28,000 in back taxes. She was able to settle with the IRS for $1,900. This is Howard. Howard owed $79,000 in back taxes. He settled with the IRS for $4,000. And this is Anna. Anna owed $8,000 in back taxes and was able to settle with the IRS for $275. Now, we're going to dive deep into the training. So please get your pen, paper, your coffee handy, because I really want you to pay attention and make sure that you're taking notes throughout the presentation. So secret number one, what the big tax resolution firms, CPAs, and tax attorneys don't want you to know. Now, what do all of these people have in common? You know, I spoke about Wendy, Anna, Howard, but thousands of other individuals. What do these people have in common? Well, they all owe the IRS in back taxes, and they all settled their tax debt by themselves without using a tax resolution firm, CPA, or tax attorney. Now, the harsh reality, and this comes directly from the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission, is that tax relief companies, they use the radio, television, and internet to advertise help for taxpayers in distress. If you pay them an upfront fee, which can be thousands of dollars, these companies claim that they can reduce or even eliminate your tax debts and stop back tax collection by applying for legitimate IRS hardship programs. The truth is that most taxpayers don't qualify for the programs these fraudsters hawk, and their companies don't settle the tax debt, and in most cases, they don't even send the necessary paperwork to the IRS requesting participation in the programs that were mentioned. And adding insult to injury, some of these companies don't provide refunds, and they leave people even further in debt. And guys, this comes directly from the FTC. So you've heard the advertising, you know, we've helped thousands of people settle their tax debt, or do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more? Guys, you hear it on the radio, you hear it on the television, you probably see it on the internet, okay? And a lot of these companies just aren't ethical, you know, they don't do what they promised, and they don't even go after, but they don't even submit the necessary paperwork to the IRS requesting participation, okay? Now, you be the judge. Listen to the actual customers of the big resolution firms. Here is an actual review of one of the major resolution firms. This resolution firm is still up and running. They still, you know, spend millions of dollars in advertising every single month, advertising on the internet and on the radio, and they're probably advertising on your radio station right now. Now, this is a review from an actual customer. It says, very misleading, unprofessional, and unorganized. They stretched my situation out for over a year, and once final payment was made to them, they said in essence, oh, sorry, can't help you. Over $3,000 paid for nothing. I had a stroke, lost my job, took retirement savings to pay my medical bills, and lost my house, and for them to say it's not a hardship. Now, here's another review of one of the big resolution firms. Total waste of money. We paid them over $4,000 in hopes they can resolve our $19,000 tax burden. Now we are out $4,000 and still owe the IRS $19,000. Everything they did for us, we could have done ourselves by calling the IRS. If we had known that they were not going to reduce our tax burden, we would have put that $4,000 towards the IRS. Okay, guys, here's one more review from one of the big resolution firms. It says, I hired blank to resolve back filing issues. After paying them almost $7,000, I feel they did the absolute minimum. They also did not file all of the correct forms with the IRS, and now I have a lien against me. When I started to get letters from the IRS about the lien, my calls to blank never got returned. After I contacted the IRS to try to solve the lien, I called blank again to let them know how disgusted I was with them. I could only reach a customer service rep and not anyone that would help. After being told numerous times that someone would be back in touch with me and never did, I was told once again I would get a call from someone in their customer satisfaction division. Haha, that was 2 months ago, and I am still dealing with the IRS to get the lien removed. Save your money. They have shown me how bad they really are. Okay, and 42 people found this review helpful. So guys, those tax resolution firms, the truth of the matter is, they make millions of dollars preying on folks who are in need of real help. And I don't want you to be one of them, okay? Now, secret number 2, you can legally and legitimately settle your tax debt with the Internal Revenue Service. Now, I'm sure by now you've probably heard of the IRS's Fresh Start program. So what is the Fresh Start program about? Well, it's an offer in compromise that lets taxpayers permanently settle their tax debt for less than the amount they owe. The OIC is an important tool to help people in limited circumstances who have exhausted all options to pay. Now, the Fresh Start initiative is for individuals and businesses who can demonstrate, 1, doubt as to liability. You can show that there's a reason that the tax assessed is not accurate, okay? Or doubt as to collectability, which is the most common one. You can show that it is unlikely that you will be able to pay this debt in full within the statute of limitations. Okay, so let's take a further look at doubt as to liability. Now, there can be numerous circumstances, and some which may include the tax was discharged fully in bankruptcy, the statute of limitations ran out on collections, the tax has been incorrectly or erroneously assessed, and the tax has been assessed to the wrong taxpayer, or the IRS misplaced an amended return. So when you're looking to settle your debt because of an error, you go for doubt as to liability. Now, this is a rare occasion where you would do this, because errors like this are rare, but they do happen. Okay, now let's look at the most common one. The most common one is doubt as to collectability. Now, this is a mock person is Susan. Her tax debt is $18,000. Her income is $2,400 a month. Her assets, she doesn't own any stocks, bonds, or real property. And her expenses include $950 for rent, $200 in utilities, car note and expenses of $600, food, $200, and taxes of $408 a month. Now let's do the math. If we take her income and minus out all of her expenses, she only has $42 left over at the end of the month. That's it, 42 bucks. Now, based upon the IRS's calculations, $42 times 12 months, she's able to offer and compromise her tax debt for $504. That's the amount of money that she's able to have at the end of the month that she can put towards her tax debt. And this is the amount that she submits to the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, let's look at another example. This is Blake. Blake has $67,000 in tax debt. His income is $2,900 a month. He has assets. He owns his own home with about $30,000 in equity, but he has been denied twice for a home equity loan due to his poor credit and inability to pay. Now, his expenses consist of a mortgage of $1,300, utilities of $300, car expenses of $200, house and food of $647, and taxes of $508. Now, if we do the math on him, we take his income minus his expenses. He's actually in the negative every single month. Blake, he often has to do payday cash advance loans just to make ends meet. Okay, so he doesn't have any money left over at the end of the month after he pays all of his bills and and has just enough money to pay for food and miscellaneous items such as clothing and toiletries and whatnot. So we settle his tax debt for $100. Now you can't settle your tax debt for $0. The IRS doesn't allow that. You have to settle for some amount. And the most common is $100. If you are seriously in the negative and you don't have any money left over at the end of the month, you are more than likely able to settle your tax debt for $100. Okay, now I put this example out here to give you an overarching view of how your income, assets, and expenses will look if you're going to qualify for this type of program. Okay, so it has to be said that very few people actually qualify for this type of program, and you're probably asking yourself, well, how do I figure out if I qualify? And that's a great question, because the IRS has a pre-qualification tool that only takes a few minutes to plug in your information to see if you should move forward in the attempt to try to settle your tax debt. And that tool is called the Offer and Compromise Pre-Qualifier, and this is what it looks like. Now, you use this tool to see if you may be eligible for an offer and compromise. You're going to enter your financial information, your tax filing status, and it's going to calculate a preliminary offer amount. The IRS will make their final decision based on your completed OIC application and their associated investigation. Okay, so it says this tool should be only used as a guide. And it says, although it may show you can full pay your liability, you may still file an offer and compromise and discuss your individual financial situation with the IRS. So guys, just because you may feel like, oh, I might have too many assets or whatever, the IRS gives you permission. You can still file. It's no harm in seeing if you can reduce or eliminate your tax debt. But oftentimes, if you have more assets than your tax debt, so if you have assets of $100,000 and your tax debt is only $10,000, you probably won't qualify. Okay. Now, there are pre-qualification questions that you have to get through before you can move on to the tool. And the first question is, are you in open bankruptcy proceeding? So you cannot be in open bankruptcy proceeding and apply for an offer and compromise. You have to wait until your bankruptcy is discharged. Now, the second question is, have you filed all required federal tax returns? You have to have all required federal tax returns filed before you can apply for an offer and compromise. And then the third is, have you made all required estimated tax payments? This is for self-employed persons. And the fourth, again, for self-employed persons who have employees, have you submitted all required federal tax deposits? And you will answer yes or no for that. Now, step 2, once you pass that screen, it's going to take you to your basic info, where you're going to put in your zip, state, county, total members of your household, your total IRS tax debt, and the most recent year you're requesting to compromise. So the most recent year that you owe taxes for. The third step is your assets. It's going to ask you about your bank balances, your home market value, your home loan balance, your vehicles, retirement accounts, asset equities, stocks, bonds, and other investments, and any miscellaneous assets that you may have. Step 4 is your income. This is where you're going to put in your gross wages, interest and dividends, distributions from partnerships, net rental income, net business income, child support, alimony, and any additional income that you receive on a month basis. And then the 5th step is your expenses. This is where you're going to put in your rent, mortgage, total vehicles, total loan or lease payments, your public transportation, your health insurance premiums, life insurance premiums, federal, state, and local taxes that are withdrawn from your payroll, and any child dependent care costs. Now guys, I do want to make a note that this is just a tool to see if you pre-qualify. This information is not being sent to the Internal Revenue Service. So, one, feel free to put in accurate information so you can see really where you stand. And 2, you still would need to actually complete the required documents, and we'll get into that in just a few, to submit for consideration. Now, the last step is going to pop up your proposal. It's going to take your tax debt, your total available equity, your monthly income, your monthly expenses, and what you have remaining. Okay, so this is the equation, guys. Your tax debt, your equity, income, expenses, and what you have left over. If you don't have anything left over, you are a likely candidate for an offer and compromise. Now that you pre-qualified yourself using the offer and compromise pre-qualifier tool, you are a likely candidate to settle your tax debt. Okay. Now, however, keep in mind that only the Internal Revenue Service has the final say on approval, and no one can guarantee you will be approved. Secret number 3, the simple 5-step process to make dealing with the IRS simple and pain-free. Now, step 1 will be gathering all of your required documents. Step 2 will be completing your offer and compromise. Step 3 will be attaching required documentation. Step 4 will be filling out Form 656, your offer and payment terms. And step 5 will be checklists and payments. Okay, so let's go through this together. Gathering your documentation. So the IRS, of course, they're going to ask for bank statements. They want to see pay stubs. They want to see your mortgage statements. And they want to see any other investment in assets. So you want to take all of your income and all of your assets and gather up the statements for your income and assets, as well as your expenses. Okay. Now, step 2 would be actually completing the offer and compromise. So it's Form 433A or 433B for businesses. And this is a 6-page document where you write or type in your asset information. Now, step 3 would be attaching required documentation. You're going to take all of your substantiation, all of your documents, you're going to attach it to that form. And then step 4 is you're going to fill out Form 656, which is your offer and payment terms. This is a 7-page document that specifies your payment terms, the tax years, and your offer details. Okay, and then step 5 is your checklist and payments. This is where you're going to ensure accuracy and that all required information is being submitted. You're also going to make your first payment towards your offer, which is 20%, and you're going to make the required application fee of $186. Now, as a side note, you may qualify for to have your first payment and your application fee waived based upon your income. So if you qualify, if you are low income, you may not have to submit your first payment or the application fee because you are low income, and the IRS waives it for low income individuals. Now, this entire process, on average, should take you about 2 weeks to gather all of your required documents, to complete the offer and compromise, to attach all your required documentation, to fill out Form 656, and to make sure that everything is correct and complete, and to submit your payments or to fill out the information if you qualify for a waiver. Now, the reason why I say it should take 2 weeks is because, most folks, they work, they have families, and it takes time and energy to, call up your bank and get all your bank statements. It takes time to go through your employer and get, your last 3 months of pay stubs. That stuff takes time and energy, and so I estimate that on average it takes about 7 to 10 days if you proactively work at least an hour a day to get all of your documentation and to complete the required forms. It should take you about 7 to 14 days to get all this completed. Okay. Now, the IRS by law has up to 2 years to process your offer. If you do not get a decision within 2 years of your offer being acknowledged, your offer is automatically accepted. Generally, the IRS renders their decision within 6 to 14 months and will often request additional information or missing information during that time frame. Now, does knowing this process, because I gave you the entire process on what to do, does it take away some of the stress? Do you feel a little bit more confident? Just imagine it for yourself, guys. No more restless nights, no more feeling overwhelmed, no more anxiety over your tax situation. I want you to be free from this burden, okay? And this process, once you have it down pat, you can go through this process, and again, in about 7 to 14 days, you can gather all of your documentation and submit your offer to the Internal Revenue Service. Now, let's do a quick recap. So today you learned how to pre-qualify yourself to see if you are a likely candidate to pursue the IRS OIC to reduce your tax debt. You learned how to do all of this yourself, saving thousands of dollars instead of making the fat cats at the tax resolution firms millions of dollars. And you learned the simple 5-step process that makes dealing with the IRS simple and pain-free. And you are more knowledgeable about the process, and you're more confident that you can tackle your tax debt. Okay, so quick question. Was our time together thus far enjoyable for you? Have you found it valuable? And do you now feel comfortable with your ability to get your tax debt under control? Do you have the confidence to beat your back taxes? And is it fair to say using these techniques will give you a significant advantage and save you thousands of dollars? And I hope you've been shaking your head up and down for each question that I just asked you. Now you basically have two options. One, you can go at this alone, trying to figure all this stuff out and hope it works for you. Or two, what if I played an active role in your results and I took responsibility in your success and had an obligation to your outcome? How would that make things different for you? If I had shortcuts and support systems and additional insights that go even deeper and more thoroughly into getting you the result you want, desire, and quite frankly, guys, you deserve it. You deserve to be free of your tax burden. And do you think in this situation I could empower you with any and all resources at my disposal to stack the deck in your favor to make success all but inevitable for you? If I had such an option for you, would you love to hear more about it and what it can do for you? And again, I hope you're shaking your head up and down yes, okay? So I want to introduce to you our feature program. Our feature program is Beat Back Taxes, Tax Relief on Your Terms. And here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 12 months of tax relief support for free. Guys, we've got your back. We've got your back. We don't want you going at this alone. We want to support you every step of the way. We know the IRS can be, scary. It can be cumbersome, and dealing with them, isn't always the easiest. Holding on the phone, making sure you got all the required information. Guys, we have your back. We want to give you 12 months of tax relief support for free. Okay, you're going to be able to get rid of your IRS notices, your garnishments, liens, collection notices, collection costs, collection visits. And most importantly, you're going to have a mutually acceptable plan with the IRS that saves you money and time. Guys, we are here to save you money and time. Okay? So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 12 months of tax relief support. That's a value of $2,900. And then you're going to get our Beat Back Taxes online portal, okay? This is our online portal where you're going to be able to complete a simple two-step process. So the first step is you're going to complete a financial survey, okay? And then the second step, you're going to upload all of your required documents, your mortgage statements, pay stubs. Guys, we make this so easy for you. We take all of the stress away from gathering your tax documents, keeping up with them, making copies. You simply complete a financial survey, upload your documents to us, and that's it. We handle the rest. So here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 12 months of tax relief support because the IRS is not known for moving quickly. That's a value of $2,900. You're going to get our Beat Back Taxes portal system. It's a two-step process to simply complete your financial survey and upload your tax documents to us, and that's it. That's a value of $997 for a total value of $38.97. Now, what else do you need? What else do you need to be successful with this? Well, you're going to get our Beat Back Taxes strategy plan, okay? So our first plan of action will be, of course, to try to reduce your tax debt as low as possible if you qualify for a settlement. Now, if the IRS does not accept your settlement for whatever reasons, we will work for the next best possible outcome. Guys, we will fight to ensure you get as much ahead as possible and save as much money as possible, okay? So you're going to get the 12 months of tax relief support, the Beat Back Taxes portal, and the BBT strategy plan, and that's a value of $19.97. So total value is $38.97. So what else do you need? I really want to provide as much value to you as possible, and I want to make this process as seamless as possible. So I'm going to give you unlimited email support and community at any time of day, whenever you have the urge. You will be supported with us. You can send us the email. You can get on our call list where you actually have one-on-one support with a representative. And then we have a fun Facebook community. I know back taxes is not fun, but it's fun when you see other people's wins, when you see other people, and you see them posting about their tax debt being reduced, or you see them posting on how their garnishment is released or their liens are uplifted. Guys, we are one community. We all are working together for you and to get you the best results possible. So we want to provide unlimited email support and community for you. And so the unlimited email support and community, that's a value of $797. So total value so far is $6,691. So what else do you need? Okay, because we really want to stack the value for you guys. So we know the majority of you have unfiled back taxes. So we want to give you 3 years of back tax filings for free. Guys, this in itself is worth, I don't know how much your CPA or EA or tax preparer charges, but preparing taxes can be in the thousands of dollars depending on how complex your taxes are. But we're going to give you that 3 years of back tax filings for free, no matter the complexity. Okay, and that's the value of $1,800. So total value you're getting so far is $8,491. What else do you need, guys? What else do you need to be successful to make sure that we are saving you time and money? And so we're going to provide you with state tax relief. This is unprecedented, guys, because the same program that allows you to reduce or eliminate your tax debt with the Internal Revenue Service are also offered through most states. And a lot of people don't know this. We work to not only reduce your federal tax debt, but your state tax debt as well, okay? So you're going to get state representation and tax relief, and that's a value of $2,900. So the total program value is $11,391. And so of course, I'm not going to charge you $11,391. Of course not. But if all this did was reduce your tax debt to $0, would it be worth it? If all this did was ease your worry, stress, and overwhelm, and finally have a plan to beat your back taxes, would it be worth it? So I had 2 choices. My first option, I can go cheap as possible and try to help as many people as possible, but it wouldn't incentivize me to really stack the value for you. Or my second option requires a little higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote more resources to guarantee your success. So because I want to free you of your tax burden over the next 12 to 24 months, I'm not going to charge you $11,391. Your investment today is only $997. $997, guys, for the entire program. Or there's the payment plan. You can start with $300 today and $99 a month for 12 months. Okay, we can try to make this as low barrier entry as possible. If you can't afford the $997, you can get on the payment plan. It's gonna be a little bit more in the long run, but we want to still serve those who can't afford to pay the entire amount up front. Okay, now again, this is for the entire program, for your federal and state and back tax filings and the support and the community. Okay, now you have 2 choices. Your first option, you can do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free for you, and you will still have your problems, worries, and overwhelm, including your tax debt. Or there's a second option. You can pony up this small investment today compared to all of the value you will get in return and just give it a shot. Now there's a 30-day 100% action-based guarantee. If you go through the program and take the required actions, and at the end of 30 days you feel like it's not helping you, we think it's only fair that you get your money back. So rest assured, you are always going to win with us. Each week you are 100% covered. So here's what you're going to get, guys. You're going to get the 12 months of tax relief support because the IRS is not known for moving quickly. You're going to get the Beat Back Taxes portal. It's a 2-step process to simply complete your financial survey and then upload your tax documents to us and we handle the rest. You're going to get your BBT strategy plan. We will strategize to your favor and ensure best results possible. And you're going to get unlimited email support and community so we can support you every step of the way. You're going to get 3 years of back tax filings, and we're going to represent you with the state, and we're going to get you state relief as well. Okay, so here's the road to success. Here's what this process is going to look like. You're going to pay your enrollment fee, whether you're paying upfront $997 or the $300 enrollment fee plus the $99 a month. After that, you're going to be logged into a portal where you're going to watch a welcome video so you can understand our entire process. Next, you're going to be sent a login information for your portal, for the Beat Back Taxes portal, okay? You're going to complete your financial survey, and then you're going to schedule your call with us. That's going to be your strategy tax call. After you get off your tax strategy call, you're going to upload your documents into your secure portal, and we're going to handle the rest. That's it. This is our road to success. We make this as simple and pain-free as possible, where once you upload your documents to us and you get all of the required information, you literally can go back to living your life and not worrying about the IRS, and know that professionals have your back, that we are advocating on your behalf, okay? So what you will accomplish, you're going to get tax relief and support on your terms. You're going to have federal tax relief, that's including any settlements, installments, non-collectible status. You're going to have state tax relief, including the exact same thing, okay? And guys, you're watching this webinar right now from your phone or computer, and you know this program will help you seek tax relief and get you back on track. So who this is for? This is for people who can't afford their tax liability, or folks who want to get on track with Internal Revenue Service. This is for people who can follow directions step by step. Guys, we lay it out plain and clear for you. And this is for people who have the capability to scan into a computer and upload their documents. And you can seek help at your local library for this if you aren't, computer savvy. Who this is not for. This is not for people who are trying to fudge their numbers and get over on the IRS, because guys, they have your social security number. They can see all the assets that you own. They can pull it up. They know when you sold an asset just recently, or when you sold a stocks and bonds just recently. So don't try to fudge the numbers, okay? We're going to help you legitimately. We're going to legitimately help you save money with this program. So this is not for people who can't follow a step-by-step system. If you just can't follow directions, this is not for you. And this is not for people who put the blame on others and you can't accept responsibility for your actions and consequences. So guys, we want you to take ownership of your tax situation. You have to give us the work. You have to give us your documents. You have to participate, follow the instructions, and we will handle the rest, okay? Now, you're going to get this entire program, guys, the 12 months of tax relief, the Beat Back Taxes portal, your strategy plans, the unlimited support and community, 3 years of back tax filings, and state representation and tax relief. You can get started right now. This is for a limited time only, because we can only accept so many clients, okay? So you can get started with the full investment of $997, or you can get it on a payment plan, which you're going to end up paying a little bit more, with $300 today and $99 a month for 12 months. You can click the link below this video, okay? $997 one time, or $300 now, and then $99 a month for 12 months. There's going to be a link below this video, once this video ends, that you're going to be able to click. That's going to take you to the checkout page, okay, to register for the program. So here's some common questions. What if I owe under $10,000? Now, it doesn't matter how much you owe. If you can't pay your tax debt, this program is for you, okay? What if I have back taxes to file? We will file upwards to up to 3 years of back taxes for you. What if I am currently in bankruptcy? Again, you cannot be in bankruptcy. You have to wait till your bankruptcy is discharged. And guys, if you have any questions that we didn't cover, or something came up to your mind, there's an email at the bottom where it says, in this pink box, support@beatbacktaxes.com. You can email that address your questions, and we will respond. We will answer any questions that you may have, okay? So you're going to get all of this value, guys. The 12 months of tax relief support, the Beat Back Taxes portal. So we make it really simple for you to just complete your financial survey and upload your tax documents to us. You're going to get your strategy plan, because we want to strategize to your favor and ensure best results possible. You're going to get unlimited email support and community, and you're going to get 3 years of back tax filings and state representation and tax relief. So guys, you can get started today. One-time payment of $9.97 or $300 now on a payment plan, and then $99 a month for 12 months. Click the button below this video to get started, and I can't wait to support you, and I will see you on the other side.